Hello everyone, my name is Michael SK and welcome back to Fate Stay Night Remastered. This is the 20th episode, I believe. I hope you guys have been having fun. I know I have been. I've actually been trying to push myself not to record as often as I want to. Because I actually have legitimately been having such a fun time with this. I didn't think I would, but even my friends, I've been talking to my friends about Fate. They know all about Fate, like, to a crazy extent, I'm sure. And, no, like, I'm really on board with wherever things are going here. Sure, I am totally confused with probably half the things that are being thrown my way, but that's a part of the journey, right? That's a part of the fun, is trying to figure it all out and really sink your teeth into all of this. And sink our teeth we have been, because now Shirou is up to training the sword with Saber, and training the mind of magic with Rin. However, we haven't officially started with that. She just kind of did more of her information dumping, just her usual thing in the last episode. But I think tonight we're actually really going to get into it. But just these dynamics too. And also, Archer. We finally got to see him again in the last episode. There's something between Shirou and Archer, you know? I don't know what you can call it. Animosity? Just being pissed off at each other? I have no idea. But just these relationships that these characters have with one another, it's beautiful. I am so ready, honestly. So, buckle your seatbelts. We're in it for the long one here. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I will try to record the entirety of this. If I miss some bad endings here and there or whatever, you know, it is what it is. But the goal is to complete the visual novel. That is now the goal here. I didn't think I would, but for a recording, that is, for an actual playthrough. But I did want to read through this, so I guess it all works out. Fujine waves as she heads out for work.
私も行くわ。今日は家に寄ってくるから遅くなるけど、夕飯までには戻るから。留守中、警察のことはしないようにね。
Oh, come on now. When have we ever done anything rash? It's 7:30 in the morning. I see the two of them off without incident, so there's only one thing left to do now.
さ、昨日の続きだ。道場に行こう、セイバー。
すぐに鍛錬を始めるのですか？朝食をとったばかりですし、少し間を取るべきではないでしょうか。
心配は無用だよ。飯の後すぐ動けるぐらいには鍛えてあるし、今朝はパン食だっただろ。あんなんで胃がもたれるほど不健康な生活は送ってないぞ。
はあ、シローがいいというのでしたら、私は構いませんが。
なら問題なし。いいから行こう。どうやったらセイバーに人たち浴びせられるか。一晩考えた成果を見せてやるから。
Yeah, keep your expectations in check here, Shirou. Come on now. I'm unable to dodge Saber's counterattack. Both the Shinai and I tumble to the ground. Yep, good start, good start. My fingers tingle where they grip the Shinai. Saber's counterattack lands as I lunge in with all my might. I'd figured brute force was my only option. No shock that I dropped my Shinai and fell right on my ass after an attack like that.
くそ、今のはうまくいったと思ったんだけどな。
シローはその判断が甘い。
Yeah, okay, like I said, keep them in check.
いいですか？シローが捨て身になったところで、サーバントは倒せません。勝ち気なのはいいですが、それも相手を見てください。
そうは言うけど、受けに回ってたらいつかはやられるだろ。チャンスがあるならこっちから攻め込まないと。
And how are you going to find an opening?
その通りですが、シローはそのチャンスの生かし方を理解していません。捨て身で仕掛けるのならば、それにふさわしい好機を待つべきです。
言われるまでもない。セイバー、さっき少しだけよそ見をしただろう。セイバーがそんなヘマをやるなんて、一日で一回あるかないかだから。
とっさにその判断ができたのは評価しますが、今のはあえて作った隙です。この程度では動じないだろうと期待して視線をそらしたのですが、まさか一直線に踏み込んでくるとは思いませんでした。
なんか人が悪いぞ、セイバー。素人をからかってもいいことないぞ。
からかってなどいません。こちらで仕掛けた策であれ、好きである以上は多少のリスクを負います。もっとも視線をそらした程度のリスクと、捨て身で突進してくるシロウのリスクは計りにかけるまでもありませんが。
要するに小さな隙は静かにつけってことか。大振りだとせっかくのチャンスを逃す、じゃなくて隙の度合いに見合った行動を取れって言いたいのか。
Yeah, don't be like the anime shonen characters where they make it totally fucking obvious that they are going in for the craziest, but again, very obvious of attacks. The obviousness needs to not be there whatsoever.
はい。ですから、
Whenever your
高貴
opportunity
な大
is,
小の
just
読
don't
み分
make
け
your
を
shit
しっかり
obvious.
してください。ですが、昨日よりは格段に生き死にの境界線には鋭敏になっていますね。危険を察知する感覚が身についてくれば、誰と戦い何を打つべきかはおのずと絞られてきますから。
Saber looks pleased. Unless it's my imagination, she seems happy to see her student improving a bit.
そろそろ休憩時間ですね。水を汲んできましょうか、シロ。
水ならいいよ。夜間持ってきたからそれで飲む。
I drag my fatigued body towards the wall. After wiping the sweat from myself with a towel I brought along, I take several gulps from the kettle. I take a deep breath. It's been almost 3 hours since I saw Tosuka and Fujine off. I've spent every minute since sparring with Saber. And as usual, Saber doesn't explain much, and I don't ask her any questions while we cross swords, just getting right to it. I have pretty much no chance of winning, but I do seem to be moving better the more I fight Saber. I'm not expecting to improve my fighting techniques. The point here is to train my body, not my mind, to get accustomed to battle. It's better than doing nothing, and since I am starting from basically nothing, there wouldn't be much point here unless I spend time working on this one thing. If all I do is think about how to fight when the time comes for me to face a master, I'm dead.
セイバーはやっぱり汗一つかいてないか。
I'm a little disappointed, but I shouldn't expect to be on her level in just a day or two. I don't think you're ever going to be on her level, but just like yesterday, Saber rests, seated in a Saiza position. Or however that's pronounced. Also, by the way, thank you to everybody that has corrected my pronunciation on some things. This is not the only playthrough, or I definitely mispronounce things. Umineko is another one that I'm currently working on, and I'm screwing things up left and right over there, so I do appreciate the pronunciation help. It'd be a waste to just sit here. I might as well take the opportunity to talk with her. Okay then. Ah, shit. I want to know more about Saber before she became a servant. A secret blade technique for dummies. I don't think we should ask the second question at all. I do think that the second choice to this, I think if we ask that, then we're gonna come off as lazy, like we're looking for a shortcut or something, and it's defeating the whole point of what we're doing here. We're not trying to fight better. We're not trying to gain techniques. We're just trying to get accustomed to battle, to be able to actually head into battle and not die after like 3 seconds. I think choice number 1 here would be perfect. Before she became a servant, I wonder what Saber was like when she was alive. Saber is so beautiful, so I'm sure everyone must have liked her. Calling her Saber is what's throwing me off, but I bet she was an ordinary girl who never held a sword back in the day. I doubt that.
セイバー以前はどんなやつだったんだろう。
Aren't servants supposed to be somewhat reflective of who they used to be? I'm so curious, I just blurt out what's on my mind without thinking, or even realizing I'm doing it.
はい。何か言いましたか、シロ。
いや、セイバーはどんなやつだったのか想像してただけだ。別にセイバーの使命を知りたいんじゃなくて、どういう生活を送ってたのかなって。
はあ。私がどういう人間だったかですか。おかしなことに関心を持つのですね、シロは。
We just want to get to know you better.
迷惑だったら聞き流してくれ。 単に思いついただけなんだ。セイバーはセイバーのサーバントだけど、サーバントになる前はもっと違った人間だったんじゃないかって。
That's right. I imagine she lived a peaceful life, as befits a lovely girl like her.
それはありえないと思います。サーバントになったからといって性格が変わるわけではないし、私は生まれた時から剣を与えられた騎士ですから。あなたの言うような違った私は存在しなかった。
うわ、じゃあ昔からそんなにきつい性格してたのか、セイバー。そりゃ大変だ。俺、周りの人たちに同情するかも。
それはどういう意味でしょうか。
Yeah, hold on there, brother.
私は厳しくはありますが、周りに強要した覚えなどありません。
嘘つけ。今日の特訓ぶりでな、セイバーが情け容赦ないやつだって思い知った。見ろこのミミズバレ。人がちょっと間違えただけで危機として打ち込んでくるんだから。
私は喜んでなどいません。シローには申し訳ありませんが、厳しくしなければ鍛錬にならないでしょう。
Yeah, I gotta side with her on that one. This is strange. I somehow never expected Saber to make a face like that.
何ですかその目は。いきなり黙り込むのは卑怯だと思います。
ああ、いや、セイバーがそういう風に怒るのが意外でびっくりした。
そうですか。私としては思ったことを主張しただけなのですが。
だからかな。セイバー、あんまり自分の感情で話さないじゃないか。
そうでしょうか。私は自分の信念に基づいて行動しているつもりですが。
だからそれはセイバーの気持ちじゃなくて考えだろ。そうじゃなくて素直に思ったままのことをあんまり話さないじゃないか、セイバー。
それは当然です。私に求められるものは個人としての意見ではなく立場としての意見ですから。それは今も昔も変わらない。私はセーバーのサーバントとしてシロを守る。そのため以外のことを口にするべきではないし、考える必要もないでしょう。
それはそうだけど、それじゃあセイバーがつまらないだろう。セイバーには役割があるんだろうけど、それにかかりきることはないんじゃないか。
Well...
セイバーにだって自分のやりたいことがあるんだから。
ですから私のやるべきことはシロを守ることです。ただでさえマスターとして未熟だというのに、私の言うことも聞かず戦おうとするあなたをこうして鍛えているのではありませんか。
Yeah, she created something that she was willing to devote herself for, on top of really all there is to her life here as a servant. I get what he's trying to do. He's trying to humanize her even more.
いや、そういうことじゃないんだけど、まあセイバーがそう言うならいいか。
I feel like this conversation has softened Saber up a bit. She even looks more cheerful now. So as not to ruin the moment, I decide not to press the matter. Okay, so we got a little bit more of a hint there. I mean, it's nothing crazily surprising. It's kind of what I figured, because servants are supposed to, again, like I said, they're pretty reflective of who they used to be. I mean, they have a true identity for a reason. So... I don't know. I'm still thinking about what her identity is, but my friends have told me to stop trying to research anything because there's, and I understand it, a possibility of me running into spoilers I didn't mean to come across that could be completely unrelated to what I'm trying to find out. Even so, I'm just keeping my research to, you know, vague stuff. But I think I'm ridiculously off the mark. I'm just trying to think outside the box and I'm failing. But definitely seem to have been a knight, a soldier, whatever, has always had the sword basically their entire life. There we go, you know? And have apparently made a mistake in their life, but who hasn't? It doesn't really narrow shit down. The next thing I know, it's noon.
お昼時ですね、シロ。
ああ、昼時だな。
Both our stomachs growl in agreement.
飯にしよう。セイバーはなんか食べたいものはあるか？
私は特にシローが用意してくれる食事ならおおむね満足しています。
Wow. Saber puts it kind of oddly. Well, at least she's not picky like Tosaka.
じゃあ買い出しに行ってくる。昨日と同じくらいに帰ってくるから今に行っててくれ。
はい、期待しています、シロ。
Yeah, hopefully we don't run into Ilya again. I decided to try making shrimp balls for lunch. I've always wanted to try making them at home. They'll be piping hot balls of ground shrimp, a bit bigger than takoyaki.
マスタードも買ったし、3時のお茶受けも OK と。
I load my purchases onto my bike. That reminds me. I met Ilya here yesterday.
あいついないな。
Yeah, she had to rush back home in the previous episode whenever Berserker woke up. Well, she probably shouldn't be coming here every day. Somehow not seeing her is disappointing, though. I haven't told Saber or Tosaka about meeting Ilya yesterday, and she didn't confront me as an enemy. So, I'm hesitant to tell them about her in the first place.
まさかな。昨日いたからって今日もいるって話でもない。
So I really should get on my bike and... Oh. We can actually go elsewhere. We could just go straight home. Or we can swing by the park and see what's popping there. I mean, we could swing by the park. I don't think anything bad will happen if we just swing by the park. Right? Yeah, let's just take the long way home. It's just about a 5-minute detour. I'm being whimsical here, and I don't need to make excuses about that. Now, here's the thing. If I was playing smart, of which I am not, I would head just straight home. Because Saber even told us in the previous episode, hey, just go shopping and come back home. Actually, I think that's what Shirou said, is that shopping and then back home, you know? Obviously, that's not what happened, but we really shouldn't be out and about that long. Yes, there are people around, but if this park is abandoned, there's not a whole lot of people here, is really what I'm trying to say, then that is a recipe for potential disaster. Will anything happen here? Probably not, but I'm playing out of curiosity's sake at this point. I park my bicycle. I step into the park, my groceries still on my bike.
なんで?
Am I doing this in the first place? It's just so impulsive of me. I just had the passing thought that it would be nice to see her. And there she is. And then I see a silver-haired girl standing off on her own. She doesn't seem to have noticed me. If I wanted, I could just leave. But if I were going to do that, I wouldn't have come here in the first place.
エリア。いや、誰も何もシロだけど。
シロ、本当に？
なんだよ、驚くことか。ここは商店街の近くなんだから通りかかることだってあるだろう。イリアの方こそなんだって今日も公園にいるんだよ。
うん、実はそうなの。あんまりやることがないから遊びに来たんだけど、セラはシロには会っちゃダメだって。どうせもうすぐ殺しちゃうんだから、シロと遊んでも楽しくないって言うのよ。
Yes.
いや、それは。
You know, the war, and her being a little, I don't want to say psychotic or anything, she's just a child. Shirou probably put it in a very interesting, an interesting way to think about it. Whether it's true or not, I doubt it, is true, but, she is a child, she probably doesn't understand the concept of life and death, killing and living, But, who knows? When characters have red eyes, do you trust them? Whoa. That makes it pretty hard to come up with a response.
けど私、それは違うと思うわ。だって、シロといると楽しいもの。だからね、ここにいたらシロに会えるかなって思って、ずっと、シロが来てくれてよかった。
ちょっと待て。まさかとは思ったけど、本当に俺を待ってたのか。
そうだよ。ずっと前からね、シロが来たらいいなって思ってたんだから。
バカ、寒いのは苦手なんだろ。 俺に用があるならうちまで。
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Please do not do
セイバー
that.
と鉢合わせたら問答無用で戦いになる。いや、それにしたって他に色々あるだろう。昨日みたいに商店街にいれば俺を見つけられただろうし。
それはダメなんだ。私から会っちゃダメなんだもん。昨日のは1回だけの反則なの。
Wait, what do you mean by rules?
だから今日はシローが来てくれそうな場所で待つことにして、こうして見事成功したのでありました。
So she sought him out for sure yesterday. Emiya skips around excitedly. Her bouncing silver hair makes her look like a winter fairy.
それは分かったけどな。なんだって俺に会いに来たんだよ。いや、昨日程度の話でいいんなら付き合うけど。
別に今日は何でもないよ。シローに会えればいいなって思っただけだし、私たちは敵同士だもの。聖杯戦争が終わりそうになったら殺しに来てあげるから、その時一緒にお話ししよう。
I guess that works too, child. I guess it works too. She says it so innocently. The disconnect between her words and manner is hard to swallow. It's not that she's going to kill me so much as how unfitting it seems for her to be a master.
イリア、それは本当にお前がしたいことなのか？
Oh, absolutely, she does.
お前は本当に自分から聖杯戦争なんてものに首を突っ込んだのか？
I'm sure she did.
そうだよ。おじい様の言いつけだもの。私はアインツベルーンの中で一番マスターに向いてるおっきな聖杯の持ち主なんだから。
それはおじい様ってやつの言いなりってことじゃないのか？イリアは自分の意思でマスターになったんじゃないだろう。
そうだったかな。よく思い出せないけど、私は生まれた時からマスターだったよ。だから戦うのは当たり前なんだって。
So the wacky-ass, scary ideals that she has now kinda just have always been there. That's all she knows.
それは違う。人から言われて戦うんならやめろ。そもそもイリアにはこんな殺し合いは似合わない。
命乞いをしてるってわけじゃなさそうね。
No, not yet at least.
お兄ちゃんたら本気で私のこと心配してるんだ。
そうだよ。他のやつはともかくお前みたいなのが戦うのは嫌なんだ。できるならマスターをやめておとなしくしていてほしい。
そうね。シローが私のサーバントになってくれるならやめてもいいよ。そうすればシローを殺さなくてよくなるもの。
What a rough situation we have found ourselves in.
何言ってんだお前。サーバントになれって意味分かって言ってるのか？
Besides, there's no way I could be a substitute for Berserker.
俺は戦いをやめろって言ってるんだ。サーバントを捨てろって言ってるのに、なんだって俺までイリアの使い魔にならなくちゃいけないんだよ。
Unless she meant servant in the quite literal sense.
使い魔じゃないよ。サーバントだってば。いつも一緒にいてくれるのがサーバントなんでしょ。だからシローはそばにいてくれるだけでいいんだよ。
Hold on a minute. Don't tell me. Does Emiya think...
一つ聞くが、サーバントってなんだ？イリア。
私のものなんでしょ。いつもそばにいてくれてイリアを守ってくれる人だっておじい様は言ってたよ。
I knew it. Emiya considers servants to be just that. Command spells, masters, none of that matters. To her, a servant is just something that protects her.
そうか。けどやっぱりダメだ。その条件は飲めないから別のにしてくれ。
何よシロ、私じゃ不服だっていうの？
I don't think that's what he's trying to say, but there's definitely going to be some, you know, misunderstandings here, especially with her wacky-ass upbringing.
いや、不服とかそういう問題じゃなくて、なんていうか。
I'm worried about Emiya, but I know I can't be by her side 24/7 either.
イリア、俺にはセイバーがいるんだ。それにマスターとして他のマスターを止めなくちゃいけない。 悪いけどイリアのサーバントにはなれないよ。
シロだから譲歩してあげたのに、そんなこと言うならもう知らないんだから。
ちょっとイリア、まだ話が。
シロのバカ、女の子に恥をかかせるなんてひどいんだから。
言っちまった。
Ilya just runs out of the park, not listening to me anymore. I could have really screwed the pooch here, honestly, you know? Like, going forward, it's just, she's gonna hate us more, you know? The desire to kill us is gonna be even higher than it would have been if we just went straight home. I try to follow her, but I can't find her.
参ったな。これじゃ昨日と同じだ。
I sigh and go back to my bike. But I don't think she'll just suddenly attack again like when we first met that night. So I should probably have one more chance to convince her. Yeah, good luck. Good luck, buddy. We finish eating lunch and then continue our training in the afternoon. I keep crossing blades with Saber, never getting tired of it. We keep training and only plan to stop when Tosuka and Fujine come home. But our training is interrupted by the sound of the doorbell.
シロ、来客のようですが。
I can tell.
ちゃんと聞こえた。ちょっと出てくるから、セイバーはここにいてくれ。
いいえ、招かれざる客ということもありえます。万が一に備えて同行しましょう。
Good idea. Saber has a point. But while she's right, if the visitor is just a neighbor, they might get suspicious of Saber. The neighbors do think I'm the only one living here. Then again...
そん時はそん時か。
Sakura and Fujine already come and go freely, so there's no point in me worrying about the neighbors.
よし、ついてきてくれ、セイバー。ただし、お客さんが普通の人だったら、おとなしくしててくれよ。
わかっています。私はシロの遠い親戚ということですね。
そうそう、それでよろしく。
I have a feeling that we're on our way to a bad ending, for some reason.
今出ます。
I rush to the entrance amid the sounds of incessant ringing. Oh.
お邪魔する。具合が悪いというから様子を見に来たぞ、エミヤ。
Oh. It's not an enemy or a neighbor. It's a friend from school.
なんだ、一世か。
なんだとは失礼だな。見舞いに来た知人に対して取る態度か、それが。
Even as Issei complains, he hands me a paper bag.
なんだよこれ。瓶？
見舞い品だ。普段風邪一つひかぬエミヤが病欠しているのだから、それぐらいは持参する。
I'm grateful for his concern, but unfortunately, I didn't take a day off because I'm sick. And besides, a bag full of apples doesn't seem appropriate for a young guy like him to bring as a get-well-soon gift.
どうしたエミ
I
ヤ？
mean, at least it'll keep the
果
doctor
物は
away.
苦手だったか？
いや、好きだよ。そうだな。いろいろ複雑だが、気持ちはありがたく。
I bow to him to show my appreciation.
エミヤ、つかぬことを聞くのだが、お前の後ろにいる女性は何者だ？
え？
Saber is standing just behind me. I get it. Issei must have locked eyes with Saber when I bowed to him.
見たことのない御人だが、なぜかような女性がエミヤの家にいるのだ？
Issei gazes intently at Saber. He's extremely shy and always cold to new people and people that he doesn't like.
いや、彼女はセイバーって言って、その。
シロの遠い親戚です。この家の主人だったキリツグが外国にいた折、好意にさせていただきました。先日こちらに観光に来たのですが、縁を頼りに宿を借りているのです。
ね。
Saber makes the story sound pretty convincing.
エミヤのお父さんのお知り合いでしたが、聞けばかなりの旅行好きと聞いています。あなたのような人と知り合いになることもあるでしょう。
え
Issei, who's supposed to be extremely bashful around strangers, accepts the story so easily.
なるほど。事情は分かったぞ、エミヤ。病欠というのは口実で、観光に来た彼女の案内をしていたのだな。
Not necessarily.
ああ、まあそういうことになる。
Well, in broad terms, nothing I've said is entirely untrue, I think.
ならお邪魔しても構うまい。ここまで運んできた礼として茶でも振る舞ってくれ。ここ2日ばかり学校で起きた出来事でも世間話にしよう。
Oh yeah, any wacky drama? Issei takes off his shoes and steps up into the house.
なんだよ礼って。一応忙しいんだぞ俺。世間話はまたの機会にしてくれ。
何を言っている？お前うちの前に自転車を乗り捨てて行っただろう。
あ、そうか。竜道寺に自転車を置きっぱなしだった。
Yeah, we never
だろう。
we never got it back.
それを持ってきてやったのだ。俺とて忙しい中、生徒会に行かずまっすぐ家に帰りここまで戻ってきたのだ。それでも茶の一つも出せないというのかお前は。
He did do me a favor. I might have 3 bikes, but out of the 3, the one I left at Ryoto Temple is the most expensive and my favorite.
悪いセイバー、少し休憩ってことでいいか。
Saber nods silently.
すまない。それじゃあセイバーと一星は今に行っててくれ。俺はお茶入れてくるから。一星は日本茶、セイバーは紅茶でいいんだよな。
私も同席するのですか？それはどうかと思います。私がいては語学言うと気軽な話などできないでしょう。
そんなことないぞ。だろ一星。
うん。女はやかましいが、セーバーさんなら構わぬ。つつましい女性は文化遺産だ。
You really do have a way with words, you say.
だってさ。じゃあ先行っててくれ。
Like, honestly.
はい。
And that probably explains why he's, you know,
なんだ
not being as bashful as Shirou thought he would be here.
飲み物でしたら私も日本茶を。緑茶は嫌いではありません。
Saber is fairly opinionated for some reason. It's odd hearing her say that in her usual tone. This is going to be a lot of fun, I'm sure. Never mind, we're just skipping right past it. After about an hour of meaningless chatter, Issei decides to head home. Most of the small talk in the living room was about school, and I asked a few sly questions to find out if anything unusual was going on. But it seems like business as usual.
それではな。
I'm sure his questions were to try and figure out if anybody was getting sick or if, you know, anything popped up related to what is happening there
なあ、
behind the
学校には
scenes.
行かない。明日もセイバーに付き合ってもらわないといけないからな。
うん。ま、あの御人と一緒なら問題はなかろう。何かと不審なところはあるが、問いただすまでもない。
Issei nods as if satisfied. Now that I think about it, how could such a shy guy warm so quickly and easily to Saber?
なあ、イセ。お前、セイバーとは初対面だったのに機嫌が良かったけど。
何を言うか。これでも寺の飯で育った身だぞ。人の良し悪しぐらい見抜けなくてどうする。素性は知らぬが、あの子の霊気は澄んでいたからな。悪い人間のはずがない。
Nah, she's a pretty good person.
へえ。イセ、
A
そうい
pretty
うことわかる
alright
んだ。
individual.
ちょっと見直した。
ま、普通はわからん。だがあれぐらい飛び抜けていると未熟者でも見て取れるのだ。見習い坊主でも傍らに神仏がおられれば神気ぐらいは感じられる。つまりそれぐらいセーバーさんの佇まいは美しい。
Oh, that's rare. Issei's praising a girl.
そうか。イセもセイバーのことを気に入ってくれたのか。
That's good. I was worried Issei wouldn't like her because all she did was listen to us talking.
当然だろう。彼女はいい子じゃないか。嫌うのは難しい。
けどな、いいやつなのはわかるんだけど、ちょっと不愛想だろ。セイバー。
え？不愛想か。
不愛想だよ。まだ笑ったこともないし、俺たちがバカ笑いしていた時だってムスッとしたままだったじゃないか。
いや、結構笑っていたが。
ね。
That's ridiculous. Sure, I've seen the occasional warm expression on Saber's face, but I've never seen her actually smile or laugh before.
嘘だ。セイバーが腹を抱えて笑っている姿なんて想像できないぞ、俺。
いや、 そういうのではなくてだな。お前が笑ってるのを見て笑っていたのだが、なんだ、気がついてなかったのか。
Huh? She was smiling when she saw me laugh?
あのさ、それ俺のことをバカにしてるってことなんだろうか。
No. It's so fucking obvious as to why she was smiling.
ま、そのあたりは己で悩め。何事も自問することより始まるのだ。カツ。
Issei, priest son that he is, ends with his usual catchphrase and leaves my house laughing.
なんだあいつ。
He leaves me with his cryptic comments. Idiot, at least he could have said goodbye. Well, I get what he was saying there. Saber was most likely smiling because, well, there is a connection between the two, you know? Of course there is, master and servant. She's seeing her master happy. How could she not be happy? The sun is setting, so today's training ends. I'm practically at my limit, and I still have magecraft lessons from Tosuga tonight. I failed to land a blow on Saber like I'd hoped, but I should save at least some energy for tonight. It's also my turn to prepare dinner tonight. Saber went to wash up after me, so she won't be back for a while.
ただいまー。お、ちゃんと晩ご飯作ってるな、シロ。えらいえらい、感心感心。
Fujine bursts into the living room, practically a bundle of energy, and immediately dives into a cushion on the floor. Unlike Saber, who needs to sleep over half the day, Fujine is like this all day, every day. I bet it's no different when she's asleep.
ねえ、シロ。このリンゴ食べていいの？
She's holding one of the many apples on the table.
構わないぞ。ご覧の通り余ってるからな。一人1日3個がノルマだ。
そうなの？じゃあアップルパイでも作ろうか。主にシロがなんだけど。
Of course. Fujine takes a casual bite of the apple as she makes her suggestion. I had put some apples I'd already washed out on the table, but I guess she's not the sort to care.
まったく、せっかくの見舞い品を。
Misunderstanding or no, shouldn't she be a little more considerate about the gift my friend gave me out of concern? For once, I should give her a piece of my mind. Oh wow. Fujine, where's my gift? She's actually going to force me to make a pie. I should hide out for a while? Don't worry about the apples, Fujine. Eat some tangerines? What the fuck? What the hell are these responses? Huh? I don't know what I want to go with here. They all kind of stink. We really are going to give her a piece of our mind here. Let's see. Don't worry about the apples, Fujine. Eat some tangerines. What do tangerines do for you? Apples keep the doctor away. Do tangerines help with scurvy, or is that oranges? Or am I thinking of something completely different? I guess we could just ask, where's my gift? I stop prepping for dinner and take off my apron. By the time I've washed my hands and made it to the living room, Fujine's apple is gone.
藤ね、リンゴ食ったか？
うん、食べたよ。甘酸っぱくて美味しかった。
そうか。なら次は藤ねの番だ。いいから今食った分の土産を出せ。ん？
土産ってみかん？
どうしてそういう結論になるのかは聞かないぞ。俺はただ
Yeah, what's the
藤
fucking
ねの
deal
用
with
意した土産
tangerines
を
here?
出せと言ってるんだ。朝出かけ際に言ったセリフを忘れたわけじゃあるまいな。
失礼ね。忘れてなんかないですよで。ほら、ここにちゃんと用意してあるんだから。
Fujine drops a suspicious-looking paper bag on the table, and its contents spill out. Oh, that's unexpected. I actually have trouble believing Fujine managed to remember a promise she made. I actually completely forgot about it. That was from the beginning of this episode?
けどそれなんだよ。
Maybe I was too busy with the intro that I just completely forgot. No matter how I look at it, it just looks like a mound of trash. Well, a mountain of stuffed toys.
シロにはね、このアステカの石仮面。シロの部屋って殺風景でしょう。これがあったら少しは温度が上がるよきっと。
Oh no, we're not doing any Aztec stone masks or any stone masks at all. No masks, okay? Alright, I don't want to get into some vampire situation. She hands me a heartwarming but somewhat scary-looking sun mask. It's about the size of a handball and stuffed with cotton.
藤ね、これ1回100円か。
そうよ、トールの苦労したんだから。2時間も
Oh
粘
my
って、
god.
最後には店員さんに出してもらっちゃった。
She's laughing bashfully, but I'm scared to think how much blood was shed in the process. I'm worried about the money put
あ
into
とはチャイ
it.
ニーズドラゴンとコウモリとカニと牛とサイとヘビと突撃歩兵と。
Fujine gleefully sorts out the pile of stuffed toys. A few spill off the table and the living room quickly grows cluttered with them. It's messy, but Fujine seems to be enjoying herself, so I don't have the heart to stop her.
まあもらっとく。藤ねも整理し終わったら片付けろよ。
はーい、わかってまーす。
She really does not act her age. I turn back to the kitchen and the stuffed toy in hand. And then I see Saber at the entrance of the living room. She must have just passed by. She looks irritated. Saber doesn't say a thing. She just glares into the living room.
セイバー、もうお風呂から上がったのか。
はい、いい湯でした。
After answering my questions, Saber heads into the living room, almost like a sleepwalker. Saber walks towards the table, and then stops abruptly in front of one of the stuffed toys.
タイガ、この人形は獅子を模しているのですか？うん、そうみたいね。ライオンの子供だよ、それ。
Saber stares silently at the stuffed animal.
この散らばった人形はタイガのものなのですか？そこにある人形たちと同じで。
Why did she specifically call her Taiga instead of... Oh, you know what? She actually does that for everybody. She refers to people by their first names instead of their surnames. Fujine's offer is made with a lighthearted smile. Whoa, what the heck's Fujine thinking? Saber's obviously in a bad mood, so why is Fujine asking something so ridiculous? Besides, there's no way Saber would want something like...
どう？いらない？私が持っててもしょうがないし、セイバーちゃんにあげてもいいよ。
Fujine picks up the stuffed lion, but noticing Saber's distaste. Saber takes it and...
ぜひ。
She hurries forward and takes it eagerly. My mind locks up. What the hell am I seeing? Saber takes the completely useless doll and clutches it against her chest as if it were truly precious. What the fuck?
ありがとう、タイガ。
There's also an addition to the sprite. They actually adjusted the sprite to show the stuffed animal. Holy shit.
別にいいよ。それ虎じゃないんだもん。
That's a bit of a weird thing to throw out there, Fujine.
けど意外かな。こういうの好きなんだ、セイバーちゃんって。はい。小さくて可愛らしいものには憧れていました。
Really?
あまりそういったものを手にする機会がなかったもので。
As she speaks, Saber looks down at the stuffed lion in her arms. How could I describe her face right now? I'm gonna need to go back on that one. What was that? I just had the weirdest thought.
もしかしてセイバーちゃん、ライオンが好きなの？
Saber silently nods in affirmation, all while she continues to smile down at the stuffed animal.
好きというわけではありませんが、縁があるのです。昔、ライオンの子を預かっていたことがあって、その子が私によく懐いてくれたのが嬉しかった。
Oh shit.
ですから、それ以来獅子には思い入れがあるのです。本来なら、私は竜を背にするものなのですが。ライオンの子供か。そういえば猫っぽいんだっけ、ライオンの子って。
Can we back up to that dragon
噛
part?
んだり裂いたり飛んだりする？
I don't want to just, skip over that dragon part.
ええ。それぐらい元気はありましたね。預かっていたのは1ヶ月だけでしたが、できることなら最後まで共にいたかった。なるほどなるほど。
でも難しいよね。ライオンってすっごく大きくなるじゃない？普通の家じゃ飼えないし、そりゃ手放すしかないか。
I've seen a lot of like videos and such where trainers and people who have raised like animals that, you know, could kill you pretty easily, you know, there's a connection between the two. And I've seen it with lions where like a trainer or whoever just, they have such a relationship and the lion is just so loving. It's basically just a giant fucking cat at that point. It reverts. Fujine nods her understanding. Saber is still looking at the stuffed lion. I'm not sure what kind of spell it cast on her. Okay, yeah, this. But something I shouldn't know or be able to see flashes through my mind. It has to just be some kind of dizzy spell, but I can't shake the image. It's one of her memories. This is something that really happened. I see an image of Saber rubbing her cheek against a cub, but I'm not sure if this is just some fleeting vision. The only thing I know is that I would regret shaking off the sight of it. The strange vision immediately disappears. My heart is still racing. The vision I glimpsed remains in my head like a scar that will never fade. Wow. What do we make of that, you know? I finished preparing dinner, it's past 7. Saber and Fujine are in the living room, and Tosuka, who's usually here by now, isn't.
あいつ外でなんかあったんじゃないだろうな。
I don't think Tosuka is the type to get into trouble, but I also know she sometimes makes huge mistakes.
ちょっと見てくるか。
If it's just looking around the house, I should be fine alone. I mean, she's not here though. I head out to the hallway, and as I'm about to leave the house, Tosuka walks in wearing her coat. Oh, there we go.
遠坂。
ただいま。何？エプロン姿でお出迎え？割と似合ってるじゃない、そういうの。
Oh, thanks. Tosuka jokes casually, but her face is completely expressionless. That's scary. The people who can joke like that with such a straight face are the most terrifying sort of people.
遠坂。お前。
The moment I try to ask her what happened, I spot blood on her hand. It's a small blood stain, and her index finger is swollen. Does that mean...
遠坂。とてつもなく悪い予感を口にするんだが。
何よ。つまんないことなら聞かないわよ。
いや、お前さ、もしかして誰か殴ってきたんじゃないのか。
ごめんと。何かとやかましい
Hell
真珠に
yeah, there
ナ
we
ックル
go.
パートお見舞いしてきたわ。
Alright, let's go. Tosuka huffs and passes right by me. Okay, so she gave him a knuckle sandwich. Then the bloodstain and swollen finger would make sense. Hey, wait.
待て待て待て待て、真珠を殴ったってどういうことだ、遠坂。
うるさいわね。気に食わなかったからギッタンギッタンにしてやっただけよ。
ギッタンギッタンって、ナックルパートってベアか。
ベアもベア。グリズリー級にベアよ。
Tosuka snorts again. Yeah, Ryder's gonna fucking kill us one day. But look, it needed to happen. Like, honestly. I know I've been trying to, you know, stay pretty level-headed with all the characters that we've come across so far, minus servants. They're a little different. But, no, Shinji trash. A brief silence. I don't know what to say, so I keep my mouth shut. An awkward silence stretches between us.
話を戻そう。真珠を殴ったって言うけど、どうしてそんなことになったんだよ。
殴って当然じゃない。私に自分と組めたの。白は使えないやつだから見限れたの言うからよ。
Oh my god. Oh, this motherfucker. He's so two-sided.
人を呼びつけておいてつまんないこと言うから、殴りつけて黙らせたの。
Isn't that short-sighted even for you, Tosuka? Or maybe Shinji said something so stupid that he actually pissed Tosuka off, even though she's usually so level-headed.
何よその目。
言っとくけど被害者は私の方よ。
いや、それは両成敗だろ。にしても、なんでシンジが遠坂にそんな話をするんだ？あいつ、俺に協力しないかって持ち出してきたんだぞ。
It's as if he's trying to lure someone in, honestly. From what we saw in that one bad ending that we got, you know, writer and caster were both there. Shinji is actually already teaming up with somebody. So why does he want to include either Rin or Shirou?
さあ、あいつシロウにライバル意識でもあるんじゃない？私とシロウが一緒に住んでるって教えてからかなりおかしくなってたし。
住んでること教えたって、遠坂、シンジに俺たちのことを話したのか？
ええ、話したわよ。昨日の朝だったかな。シンジのやつ、私を呼びつけて、僕もマスターになったから遠坂と同じさ、なんて偉そうに言ってくるんだもの。なんか頭にきてね。それじゃあシロウも同じよって言ってやったの。
But he would have already known that.
それで身の程を知ったかなって思ったのに、ついさっきうちの前で待ち伏せしてたってわけで、悪いけどもうエミヤくんの家で暮らしているから、あんたみたいな半端なマスターと協力する気はないって言ったんだけど。何？もしかしてまずかった？
Wait. He was outside this house. Like he was just out front. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Shinji was already smitten with Tosaka, so what she told him is just adding fuel to the fire. Well, but still, now it all makes sense. I figured out why Shinji's been hostile only towards Tosaka and why he's being so persistent about asking her to team up with him. Meaning he...
けど不思議よね。シンジのやつ、なんだって私にこだわるのかしら。あいつの性格から言って誰かと協力するなんて考えは浮かばないと思うんだけど。
That's why I think there's something else going on here. Actually, it's because Rin is special to Shinji.
不思議でもなんでもない。シンジにとって遠坂は特別なんだと思う。あいつもともと魔術師の家系だったんだろ。なら同じ魔術師の家系でまだちゃんと血を残している遠坂に憧れていたんじゃないかな。
That's why he's so persistent with Tosaka. I think Rin's been a target for Shinji's affections since long before the Holy Grail War started.
ちょっとそりゃ好意を持たれるのは嬉しいけど。
It must have been a real surprise. Tosaka looks completely bewildered.
ああ、思い出した。そういえば1年の頃、シンジに告白されてたわ、私。
Wasn't he also having like a really shitty attempt of hitting on Rin in the very beginning of the game? For a moment, her expression as she realizes what she had obviously forgotten is almost comical. Ugh, I sympathize with Shinji just now.
わあ、道理で懲りずに話しかけてくるはずだ。納得したわ。
まあいいけど、それ返事はどうしたんだよ。
With her fist.
うん、断ったんじゃない？私、勝負事は先出しじゃないと気が済まないの。やるなら自分からっていうか、相手から勝負を仕掛けられても乗れないっていうか。
Tosaka thinks really hard, but she's acting as if she doesn't remember. I'm astonished. She might be entirely driven by her emotions.
遠坂、お前じゃんけん弱いだろ。
嘘？なんであんたがそんなこと知ってるのよ？
Why is that your response? I knew it. If she likes to make the first move, she's probably not great when she has to react to someone else. That makes sense. I can roll with that.
それには醤油を使ってくれ、セイバー。間違ってもマヨネーズなんてかけてくれるな。
Oh, looks like it's food time. I think we'll call it there on that one. This was a pretty good episode, I think. Kind of a repeat in a lot of ways to the previous episode, actually. But it looks like we didn't go into... Oh, wow, we actually gained brownie points with Ilya. I didn't know that was possible. And look at it, the amount of directions that we could have gone in here. I don't even know how. But we could have gone in, like, way more directions. We were only given 2 choices. This is some wild ass tree here. That's all I'm saying. Alrighty. Well, yeah, this was a good episode. In a way, very similar to the previous, but different in its own way, I think. Excited to see what happens next, and I hope you guys are as well. Thank you for tuning into this episode. If you liked it, be sure to leave a like, subscribe for more, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take it easy.